Do come in. I've just decided to do a little impromptu stream. Nothing fancy, nothing special. I was talking about this yesterday. I kind of wanted just to have a little look-see at what good old Matt Mercer's made recently, in collaboration with some others. So, I thought I'd have a little look at Daggerheart, and I thought, you know what? Why not look at it with company? So, here we are. Now, hopefully you can see the screen just fine. I can obviously adjust things if need be. Hell, if worse comes to it, I'll add a new scene, just like a blank sort of canvas I can put the screen on and myself on. And of course, you lovely lot on there, if need be. Hell, I'll see if I can copy the chat box. I believe it's the same layer anyway in the picture, so I have an editable version if I need to adjust. And I might do more of these in future. You know, retroactively, I might actually start doing a little like series review on the off, be it edited or otherwise content. I don't know. We'll see. But, shall we have a little look at the wonderful thing that is Daggerheart? Now, I've been looking through the playtest material and also this wonderful video here provided by Matt Mercer, and I am very sorry, I forgot the other chap's name. Did they mention it? I don't think they... Well, no. Spencer Starkey. There you go. There he is. I can't read. I'm supposed to be a GM here, but I can't read. Honestly. I'm still doing D&D later, so if any of my players drop in, don't worry, it's still happening. This stream won't be that long. Shouldn't be. Let's go, this changes it. I just threw it to a little thumbnail. I've been trying to do a bit more effort with those because, honestly, I wanted to... It was pointed out that I was like, you probably should do a better one. So, you know what, you're right. So, I'm trying to get more reactive. Dramatic, as it were. So, maybe I shall zoom myself in, but shimmy myself over here, so you can still see my lovely face, but you also get more of the screen. And you can see my mouse. Okay, that's good to know. So, over here is the Dragonheart Nexus. What I will do is I will drop a link to that. Let me crank open you Twitch. For your perusal. I have a button on my Stream Deck for it, so... Streamlabs does have it, but I have to sign in every time, which is really annoying, by the way. I've already logged into it and streaming to Twitch via this, so just let me bloody do that. Rather than faff me with, it's fine. I'm sure they'll improve on it. Now, let's have a little look at the playtest material. Now, Dragonheart is in open beta currently, so they've kindly provided us with a little bit of interesting bits, and this is going to be a lot of me reading and kind of just figuring stuff out. So if I'm being a smooth brain, please let me know. As I say, I will maybe try and make this more formulaic if I do more of these. Thankfully, they've given us such a lovely little website to peruse through. I haven't bothered doing one of these for like 5e, but I might do one for 1D&D, possibly. I've not looked at much of the material, so maybe I might see if I can drag someone in with me who actually has read it. I can poke and go, what this? Explain. I don't know. Figure it out. For those who, if anyone in the chat is someone who is in my private Discord server, because yes, I have my own private ones. Everyone has their secrets. I'm kidding, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it's too degenerate for you fuckers. There's a public Discord server for that. That is wholesome, currently. As wholesome as it can be. With an NSFW share section. Right. Now, some disclaimers, of course, in this. This game is still in active development. There's just bits that aren't even written yet, okay? So, don't worry as we're going over this, you think, oh god, that's going to be horrible to play. They haven't finished it yet, so just bear that in mind. It's also not come through an editor yet. So, it's probably going to have some errors here and there, right? Balance, obviously. That's still going to be a factor. Obviously, as well. There's a building system. You'll see the... Okay. So the setting is the base setting that they're putting it in isn't quite developed either. That makes sense. Some of the art are placeholders. Okay. We'll release new updates periodically during. No current changes at this time. Okay. The introduction. Oh lord, there's a lot of this to go through. We might not get through everything today, but I'm going to try and get through the important stuff, right? So obviously, it discusses what Dragonheart is. It's a collaborative role-playing game set in a high fantasy world. As if you couldn't tell by the design and aesthetics of it, by the way. We'll get on some of the classes, because they look interesting and quirky. There's also subclasses, and I want to understand how that works at some point. Like I said, we're gonna go through this book, or this page, and just sort of go through this bit by bit, right? But I'm going to take the bits that are important, because, like, I think if you're here, you probably know what a tabletop role-playing game is, right? I suspect you know what a heroic narrative-focused experience with combat is a prominent aspect of play is, right? You've played 5e. You probably know a lot of that sort of stuff, right, if you're here? Though, if you aren't familiar with that stuff, please shout up. I will do my best to explain to you of my... How many years have I been DMing now? How many years have I been DMing now, actually? Oh god, how long has it been? Oh fuck. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it, fellas? It's been quite a while. I don't think no one's gonna start. Was it 2020? Was it 2019? No, it was earlier than that. No, because I think I was in college at the time, so it would have been... Oh, would it have been that first summer in 2018? Yeah, god, it might have been. Oh god, it might have been that. Yeah, I think it might have been, because it was when I moved out. Yeah, fuck, okay. I think it might have been then, so... 19. So it's been... Hold on. Oh god, it's been 5 years. Fuck, it's been half a decade. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I feel ancient. The years, the white hair's fitting now, but it should be more grey. The actual object horror. It's fine. We will simply ignore the passage of time and instead look at this brand new system, which was the entire point of this, not to be crying about being ancient. So, I think we know a lot of this stuff, folks. If you don't, please let me know. I will happily go out of my way to record a whole thing for you. Genuinely, I mean this. I don't care if it's like one person. I will do that. That one person gets help from this. I will do that. So, let me see here. The role-playing game is... So, Dark Heart's a heroic narrative-focused experience with combat as a prominent aspect of play. facilitating emotionally engaging, player-driven campaigns that are punctuated by exciting battles and harrowing challenges. If any of my players are in chat, you certainly know about harrowing challenges, don't you? I like to think of my campaigns as a struggle session. Today's going to be fuckers. Today's going to be a real struggle session for you. Though hopefully a fun struggle session. I like to think I'm slowly turning them to masochists. They come back for more, so I mean they must be enjoying it. Okay, so it's definitely intended to be more streamlined, more narrative, free-flowing approach to combat. Okay. It's up and down the game into rounds and doesn't rely on grid-based movement for maps and minis. That's a... okay. That's the one thing... Some of these might be... I'm just thinking it in context of my group. Your group might love this. Your group might be all over this like a new suit, a cheap suit, you know? I fucking adore this shit. And yes, I'll know if it's a cheap suit, fuckers. Look at me. I'll know. Alright, if you aren't rocking that Sea Dog VA fine suit, okay, you better walk out and look like $1 million. That's the most important rule in the Cabral family. Drip. Okay, we don't care, we'll get you from the street, we'll get you a fucking suit. You will look good in that suit. Alright. Rule 1 on joining the Cabral family, you get a suit. One of these days I'll give away a fucking suit to somebody, just for the memes, honestly. Unironically. If I ever get to the point where I can afford to do so, I will do that. Genuinely. Someone's gonna, like, clip that one day and be like, oi, suit fucker, where is it? No, well, fuck it. It'll never happen. Never going to happen. No one's listening to this anyway. So those for a highly strategic, rules-heavy experiences with more of a heritage from war games may find Dreadnought doesn't quite offer the crunchy they used to. When they come from a rules-light gameplay, may find the mechanics engaged in areas where they used to be more free-from. Okay, so it's more rules-heavy than something like City of Mist. That's the one. City of Mist is quite rules light when it comes to combat. It's very first to the mind, you know. If you don't know what City of Mist is, an interesting little system. I'll give you the TLDR. Imagine you kind of wake up and you realise, shit, I'm actually Arthur from the Legends. Or I'm Zeus. And that mythos starts taking you over. But if you take it over too much, you kind of like descend. And you kind of become it, but you also kind of like can't be playable anymore because you kind of have to sit on this like knife edge. But if you don't embrace it too much, you just forget and become normal. Quote unquote normal. That's the general gist. Maybe one day I'll talk about it more. But yeah, this is more crunchy than that, but maybe less crunchy than 5e. Remains to be seen. From the video they provided, and we might watch that. Maybe. It definitely seems like it's less crunchy than 5e. There's no initiative, but we'll get to that. That's okay, you should always play the types. As I said, if you're looking to tell heroic fantasy stories with a modern approach to mechanics that focus on the epic battles and the emotional narrative of the characters who fight in them, comes to the right place. Now, from a narrative standpoint, I expect Matt Mercer's gonna knock it out of the ball. Fucker's like great at that shit. Alright. I am interested to see though with his classes because Matty Mercer makes fantastic classes, but they're not always the most balanced. Some of them are a bit underpowered, some are quite overpowered. So it's kind of like, we'll see. But then it's his own system, so I don't have any reference what's over and underpowered here. And it's probably not just him balancing them, so I guess as it says in this, balance is like an ongoing thing, so. Asymmetric design means it plays very differently from the GM does. Okay. Asymmetry. Asymmetry goes deeper. 2d12s. Okay. That's not as commonly used dice. PC standard actions, including their attack. So d12s, 2d12 is your common. Okay. So max would be 24 in this case. Interest. D12's a weird one. Of all the dice I've seen used, d6s, d10s. But d12 system, or 2d12 system. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, I don't hate it. That's just interesting. Okay, other actions include their attacks, yep. Same time, GM makes moves without rolling for most actions, but rolls a d20. Okay, so the DM rolls a d20. Thank God I can keep mine normal. I'm expecting I'd probably be DM in this experience, but you never know. Each PC gains hope when they roll with hope, while the GM gains fear when the PCs roll with fear. I assume that will get explained later. PCs and episodes both have a mechanic called experiences, but they are used in different ways and in different times. Okay. Alright. The inspiration. Let's see what your touchstones are, and then we'll probably move in a bit further on. So, TTRPGs, 13th age. So that's Lord of the Rings, I believe. Apocalypse keys, Apocalypse. So a lot of Apocalypse system ones. Blades in the Dark, okay. City of Mist, I just mentioned City of Mist. I figured there'd be a bit of that. Cortex Prime, Cypher System, Dishonored. Wait, is Dishonored got its own system? I'm gonna have to, if that is Dishonored in the game, we're looking at that at some point. Dungeons and Dragons, no shit. Flea Immortals. For the Queen. Masks, a new generation. Pathfinder. Yeah, I figured. They had a background in Pathfinder before now. Shadowrun. I hope not the fucking layout. Listen. I love the concept of Shadowrun, and if JD Moss is listening to this, buddy, if the system wasn't laid out so shit, we'd have played it, I promise. But holy fuck. Why can't they format a book? Just format it better. Please. I want to play it, but if I don't want to deal with your formatting, it's so bad. Okay, a few of these I don't know, but maybe I'll try and know a few of these. Especially this one. Like, holy shit. Okay. Books, Song of Ice and Fire series. I mean, it's on. Actually, I say that. Is it finished? Has he finished it? Has he actually finished the series now? Holy shit, if he has. Hopefully, it's better than the fucking TV series. And Jesus Christ, what a shit show. Wizards of Etheria. Where's Onyx when I need him? I need to whip him if he knows some of these. Oh, there's no Brandon Sanderson here, I don't think, buddy. I'm sorry. Wheels of Time. Okay, I've heard of that one. I mean, if you have a fantasy setting, right, and you tell me there's no reference to Lord of the Rings in there, I'd be very surprised, and I'd have to ask, is it definitely a fantasy setting? Not because it has to reference Lord of the Rings, but because, well, it's probably, you know... You know, I just realised something. That is probably a bit zoomed out for you, isn't it? Properties. Can we zoom it a little? Can we do something to make it a bit more... Can we make this a bit bigger for you guys? Can we embiggen it? How's that? Let me know how that is. I'm hoping that's a bit bigger now. I sort of looked at it and went, hang on, that looks teeny tiny. But maybe that's just me looking at Streamlabs. But just let me know how it looks, okay? Because if it needs to be embiggened, I can embiggen it, I think. I can probably make it bigger. or we can just like, I don't know, maybe we'll hide this bit or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Put that over there a second. Just to check something. Yep. You don't need to see my Twitter. You don't need to see my Twitter. Nor should you. It's a den of the deranged. And I love all of them. All my little crazies on over there. Maybe one of them will join. Occasionally some of them do pop over, so I always welcome them. Special appreciations. Major inspiration with the 2 axes result. Okay. Interesting. Cipher Systems GM introduction provided the way for spending fear and interrupt. Oh yeah, because you can interrupt a scene. Yes, that's a thing they mention. The DM can just go, hey, I have these fear tokens. I can just stop mid, because basically it's like an I go, you go system. Well, kinda. It's I go until I get fuck up enough by rolling by getting fear tokens. They'll mention that later, I think, how you get those, but when you get enough of them, the GM... Well, I think it's like when you fail or something happens. There's a point where it'll flip to the GM, and all those tokens you've spent now have GM resources to move things. But if you roll fear tokens, the GM can just go, hey, that's cute and all. I'm gonna do something now. I have enough of them. I'm gonna do something freaky. I'm gonna do something real freaky. So, for ages of backgrounds, I mean, okay. 30 minutes. Blaze in the Dark and Apocalypse World help shape the narrative game flow. Interesting. The playbooks inspired a lot of the character development. Interesting. Every type's way of man and minions are informed by Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. And the monster design of Flea Mortals. 4th edition D&D is very gamey, actually, so I'm surprised they used that as the base thing. I need to look at 4th edition D&D, because I've always wanted to give it a go. Oh, no surprise there. Or there, actually. Although, hang on a second. Matt Mercer, you hack. You self-hack, you. I love that. TV inspiration. Legend of Vox Machina, you son of a bitch. Inspired by yourself. Fair enough. You hack. Don't change. Fucking hell. I respect it, though. I respect it a lot, right? And to be fair, good. The Witcher? Nice. Lord of the Rings? Nice. Brentford? Nice. Okay, back to down here. Outriders. Huh. I think I've heard that name somewhere. Right. Do consequences, actions, and how narrative. Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, that's standard kind of thing. The dice players. Yeah. Different colours. One representing. Okay, right. So these are what mentioned token bear dice. Okay. So referred as D12. Let me turn my phone's thing off. I don't think the mic picks it up nearly as much as it used to, because this mic's better. But let me, son of a bitch, let me turn that off, because I'm such a professional. I am such a professional, chat. You have no idea. My big streamer brain right now is fucking girthy. Huge brain. It's hard to hold this head, okay? Oh, God. If I ever get that arrogant, fucking smack me. Okay. Embody the fate of the world around you, and its effect on your success. I'd like more hope dice, please. IRL. Your damage die corresponds to the weapon or spell you're wielding. Yes, it's magic. In a fantasy setting. I know. Horrifying. spell you're wielding, expressions how deadly a successful attack might be. Yes, because this doesn't use standard damage system. No. It uses a fairly interesting system that I kind of like, actually. I almost wonder how 5e would play with it, honestly. We'll get to it. Come on now. That's what we all call it anyway. At least you go with the terminology everyone uses. A small story that makes up part of a large narrative. Yes, indeed. Okay, I mean, yeah. If everyone's having fun, yes, but everyone likes to win, right? God knows I could do a few wins. God knows I could do a few wins these days. Fucking hell. Yeah. Yeah, this is... Okay. So it's actually encouraging players to help with the world building. That's interesting. That's interesting, actually. I do when it comes to world building, I have a lot to say on world building. I think this is a nice idea, and I've wanted to do this for a bit, actually. There's a system called Microscope you can do. A friend of mine reminded me of its existence, and it's interesting, right? Because Microscope lets you kind of drill down really far, okay? But you can follow it as a nice guide if you're not sure how to do world building. I will do a video on world building at some point. I promise you I will do it. I need to figure out how I want to approach it, right? Because I don't quite like making scripts. I'm up for having notes, so I might like note up some things and run my notes through Grammarly and other shit just to clean it up so it makes sense to me, but then again, I'm reading them, so it doesn't have to make sense to anyone but me. I've been using Grammarly a bunch recently to try and like clean up my stuff a bit. That and it's got its own generative AI, but I mostly use that for like, help me, I can't figure out words. You can have it write stuff for you, but to be honest, I think if you're going to use it, personally, I would say use it in a way to help generate your own ideas. So it might suggest things and you can build off that yourself, rather than take what it's outputting. It's not ChatGPT, so it's not technical, but it could probably clean up something to help you understand it. Or if you say, hey, paste a thing in and go, hey, can you like break this down for me? You probably can do a bit of that with it. But obviously, when it comes to writing, even though I'm bad at writing scripts, I still won't have an AI write a script for me. I might look at what it suggests as a suggestion from a writing perspective, or anything I could add that I haven't thought about, if I haven't got any suggestions elsewhere. But I'm not going to copy it, because don't do that. Tangent there, we'll move back on to what's actually important here, rather than talking about using AI in any regard. Just remember, AI has to steal. Any AI is stealing, so if you use AI for anything, remember it's stealing, and remember, well, the AI has to steal currently. It has to get the data source from somewhere. So remember that. Not a conversation you're expecting to have about talking about a new system Matt Mercer made, I know, but thought I'd cross my mind while I was talking about like script writing and stuff. I don't really use it much beyond just suggestions to how to improve my writing, or things I could add, which I think is an okay use for it. Suggestions and expanding what you're thinking about to improve yourself, rather than using it to be to make up for lack of skill, personally. The Core Realms, okay, that obviously, okay, so they're actually doing the Core Realms, okay. So, the Mortal Realm, that's where you're gonna be. Hollows above, which is where the gods reside, and the circles below. Fallen gods. Okay. The realms beyond. shenanigans, essentially. And magic and spells. Both powerful and incredibly dangerous. Okay, ooh. Magic's gonna be dangerous, is it? Okay. That exists both force within you and be able to draw upon it, give you aid. Journey for. Okay. Interesting. Okay, obviously it's a high fantasy setting, so magic's a bit more ubiquitous. So, definitely worth a look. How that all touches up together. Let's see. Using this book. Right. Give me 2 seconds, folks. I'm just gonna quickly nip to the toilet. I'll be right back. Provide details around each of the game's classes, ancestries, communities, and domains. character creation. Let's take on the role of a GM. I still need to know how to do it, because guess who's going to be asking me how to do it? You guessed it, the players. So it's obviously I need to know as well. The funny thing about being a GM, folks, you have to know what the players know, and then some. I have to know their class better than them. I don't, but I should. I'm trying to. But I have to be able to like look at them and go, I know every move you could do. Kind of. You know, I'm saying that you have to. No, let me rephrase that. You don't have to know every move they can do, but you probably should have a rough idea of their capabilities for their class. That'll kind of let you sort of lock stuff in a bit in your mind, and also, you know, if someone goes, oh, I think that's how this ability works, you can go, maybe not quite, or you can go, actually, this ability works like this, and it's better for you. In case they get confused, because obviously, you want to make sure everyone, you know, knows what they're doing with their class, because they might be missing something really important, and, you know, that could make it even more fun for them. Obviously, rule are cool sometimes, at least for that session, and then afterwards, like, okay, I've looked it over, and this is how it should work, so we'll ruin it as this for now on, but just, you know, rule of cool's a thing. Right. Doesn't guide you. Okay, so goes over it. So getting started. Yep. Character sheet and character guide. I'm hoping that I think this is an online film, doesn't it? Yeah, there's a character section here, and I think that is specifically you making characters of this system. I'm hoping they get a thing in Roll20 or similar system, because I quite like using Roll20 because we often, well, you can't, it's a pain in the ass to meet in person. One of my players lives quite far away, so it's easy to do it online. Session 0, yes. What I would mention as well about Session 0, lock them in. As in, give everyone a bit of time to figure out stuff, but when you get in, go, right, unless there's a massive issue, lock in your characters here, because what you don't want is, it did happen with me, and it's fine, because they wanted to like make better characters, and that's perfectly fine. They wanted to make more interesting narrative characters, and that's perfectly fine. But what I would say is lock them in a bit, because what you don't want is someone who made a character for one party, then to discover they don't fit in at all with this new party. That's going to suck for them, so kind of try and make sure everyone's happy with the ideas then and there, and have a plan then and there. Ideally, you want to get some basic bits about backstory down then, realistically. Work with them a bit on backstories then and there, to get some bare bones down, to get some just skeleton work. They can fluff it up later if they want. But I think more and more, to me, the important stuff is, why the hell are you an adventurer, or doing what you're doing in this campaign? In this case, why are you going across the entire fucking planet? Like, imagine going from China to America the long way. That's quite a long way. Right? You agree that's quite a long way. So, imagine doing that kind of distance and, you know, going that length for nothing, right? You wouldn't do that, would you? You just wouldn't, because, well, that's a hell of a journey. And to avenge someone, not even like related to you, but like your lord, you know, which modern day concept, most of us probably wouldn't do anything for a leader of a country. Not that they deserve it. Not getting political here, but, you know, is what it is. But back in the day, it was, you know, the idea of honour, chivalry, that kind of thing. It was all about the lord and, you know, the one who's above you. And going off of the kind of Japanese understanding from ancient Japan, back when the samurai were around, if you lost your lord, that was a big deal. Because the samurai is nothing about their lord. They're a ronin then. And that's kind of what the Lost Warriors are. Ronin, at this point. You know? I call them the Lost Warriors because they're the way they're lost of purpose. They're lost in the sense that they've lost their kingdom, they've lost their land, they've lost everything that was theirs. And they must take vengeance to redeem themselves and hope to have an honourable death, maybe? Maybe come back heroes? If they're lucky. If they come back at all. But, you know, it's why a session 2 is important to establish these things from the get-go and make sure everyone's sold on the idea then and there. Because they're not, it's gonna kinda suck for later on if someone changes their mind. Now, obviously, all being well, your players who do change after session 0 might build on that, but I think what I've probably found is I might have I'd almost want to have a session 0.5 as okay, maybe the week before session 1, just okay, let's make sure we're all happy, this is everything down, general backstories are in so we can go over that, and all the questions we answer then and there, and then session 1 happens. That's what I might do next time, so it's a learning experience, right? Don't worry if you mess up this kind of thing. I think I've messed it up so many times that it's a learning experience. Think about character concepts. Very important. Concepts for characters, quite important. If you don't like your concept, you won't have fun. For example, I'll give you a character concept. My VTuber right here. Right? You know? Mafia aesthetic, wolf girl, you know. If I didn't enjoy that concept, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to be this character, right? Barons are as a concept to themselves. Another one, if I pick from my sort of characters in the past, Hersham Longhane. Hersham was a Oath of Crown Paladin. In retrospect, he should have been Oath of Vengeance, who essentially was chosen by... Essentially, he made an oath in his dying breaths, and the force that gives oaths in that setting, that my friend ran, bestowed upon him power. But he basically said the words, I will give everything to defend my land and my people and my family. So the guy took everything, his memories, who he was, and moulded him something new. And the concept of this guy struggling against this deal he made, whilst this burning desire to destroy things that are, you know, a threat to the land, flows through him at every action. His every intent is to follow this oath, even if he doesn't want to. I ended up sticking with it forever. Wasn't quite happy with how it kind of played out, but that's more me thing, I think. Another one that I quite like, actually, my original character, Marcus Aurelius. The first campaign I ever did, I played a Mind Flayer. Yes, I know, ironic, weird, but I was allowed to do it. Obviously, it was way weaker than the actual Mind Flayer, bit of the brain sucking, and I had a sort of always learned Alter Self. I was also using the Mystic playtest class. It's an interesting class. It was a concept that they did. I wouldn't mind trying it again. Or if they make a proper Scion class, I wouldn't mind doing that. Because I found that interesting. But basically, Marcus Aurelius was a mystic who had been mind flayed, but retained his mind. So he essentially had all his faculties in order. And as such, he was still able to do his job as part of this sort of order, essentially, that he was part of. And he was kind of like one of the Order's darker secrets, but he was a necessary evil, right? They fed him brains and all that stuff because, essentially, he was a calm, calculated character, and he was the balance to my friend J.D. Moss's character, who was this religious fanatic, he was the classic, looks at something, screams heresy, wants to kill it. And Marcus would just put his hand on his shoulder and go, No, Inquisitor, that isn't heresy, calm down. That's just a sheep. Obviously, being hyperbole here, but that was his point. He was there to be the anchor. He is emotionless. He doesn't give a shit about people. He's very calculating because the emotions are dulled because he's a mind flayer. But he balances out the crazy, wild Inquisitor by being the voice of reason and a calculated one at that. So, I like that concept. I like the concept of sort of being that, like, balancing point. Right? He's not the anchoring, whereas the Inquisitor's more like the people guy. Like, he is more personable by one being a person, but also by the fact that he was more of a force of personality. So, excuse me. But yeah, concepts are important. So don't forget your concepts. Now then, character guide. Yep, there's an example character, which here we go. Here's an example character. Let's see. Now, don't worry about these. These are the domains that involve it. We'll get to those. Lawborn Elf, Primal Origin subclass. Yep. So, we have Evasion, which they got to roll to hit you in the first place. Armor, its own thing. Armor class isn't like armor class in 5e. I'll just get you various points here. We'll get onto a lot of these. Active weapons. Okay. They'll obviously mention a lot of this. Huh. We got a breastplate, okay. Experienced roll mage, okay. There's some hope spend. These are resources, well, kind of, so it'll get explained later how damage works, but as you'll see here, it's not the same as what you're probably used to. So, class. Okay, so we have I can sense minor illusion, channel raw power. Okay, interesting. No stuff in their inventory. Nice, nice. Stamina. Okay, stamina potions. Okay. Ah, clear stress. Makes sense. Okay. Trades. Suggestions, background questions. That's good. Connections. That's very useful. And then, yeah, go to level 10. Okay. That's going into various things, so we'll back to this. That's an example character there. Obviously, I've got the link in there if you want to have a look at yourself as well. Obviously, it's not level 1, no shit, it's like pretty standard, but you might, you might want to. They don't recommend it, but you're the GM fucker, do what you want. Literally, your rule stands. Called the details, yep, of course. Right. Yeah. Who's a class? First step to characterization is a class you want to play. Yep. Class is quite important. They have a variety. From the Guardian, which is a tank, which makes sense, quite easy to understand. The Wizard. Various spells. Class features, which we saw a few of there, like divine, Arcane Sense. That's a divine sense, then. So we have the Wordsmith and the Troubadour. Okay, so that's two foundations. I think the foundations are like subclasses. There's a class section about this, so we'll go over that. But you have Bard, which I know Onyx will like, as he is a Bard fanatic, and JD Moss will hate because he despises the Bard. I kind of like the Bard. I want to play Bard at some point, actually. I just want to find, like, the right kind of bard. I used to have a hard time figuring out a barbarian as well, but one day I'll play a barbarian. I just kind of like the rule of cool of just, what are you going to do? I get angry, I pick up your cart and I throw it at you. Why? Why not? But, yeah. The bard, if you want to be a little wordsy boy. Or you can do on musical shenanigans. Oh, they have pop-outs. Oh god, they have pop-outs. Terrifying. We'll get to those. The druid. So, I assume this is when you want to be like Keeler from... I have forgotten the name of the show, but yeah, from the Critical Role Season 1, I think. I think is Keeler's name? The druid? And, okay, so this is the particularly healing druid. Interesting. Guardian, which has the tank, and then this one would be the beat stick. But I imagine you still quite tanky anyway. Ranger. Now, I'll be quite interested to do Ranger because, like, Ranger in 5e is magical, but in Pathfinder it's kind of not unless you make it that way. Be gone. Pop out. It's a nice pop out there, by the way. Nice UI and UX design here on the website. I can respect it as an IT guy. So, using that. Okay, so this makes you a better shooter and stabby, I suspect. And this is, I think, an animal. So you have the party mascot. The Seraph. What the fuck is the Seraph? It sounds like a paladin. Wings sound like he wants to take flight. You take flight? Holy shit. Alright. Divine Wielder. If you want to dummy battle with... Okay. This sounds interesting. This sounds very cool, actually. A rogue. The Nightwalker or Syndicate. Want to cover the shadow of a new... Oh, okay. So you literally have some magic in your disposal. In Syndicate, if you want to use... Oh. This lets you be the old Spy Master. Okay, I like. They haven't just gone with a Thief. That's quite interesting. Everyone just goes for Thief normally. That's fine. But I like that they've gone against that. Or maybe it's just baked into the base class. Sorcerer. Now, interesting. Primal Origin or Elemental Origin? I know JD Moss will like this because that lets him have like his Phoenix-oriented sorcery that he wants. Primal Origin. Interesting. That I assume Primal Origin is like more the raw stuff of magic. Interesting. Warrior. Now, is Warrior like Final Fantasy Warrior? Because it looks like it, which means you're kind of a barbarian. Cold Slayer, if you want to take down adversaries' incredible power. That's definitely barbarian. The brave one to use your... Yeah, come on now, that... 100%, that's barbarian. That feels barbarian as fuck to me. Just reading those. We'll have to see them. But, what we got? Wizard last. Knowledge and war. Be knowledgeable. Big brain. War. Okay, so this is the utility wizard. This is the blowing up shit wizard. One's Fireball McGee, and one is, actually, I think you'll find. So two there. Choose your heritage. Interesting. So your heritage aspect of your character includes 2 elements, their ancestry and their community. That's interesting. That's actually quite interesting, the way to do it. Here's the thinking, right? Let's say you're... If look at 5e as an example, right? You're a drow. Okay. What if you were a drow raised among dwarves? How would that change you? I'm looking at this. Yeah, there's a bit of that. So, a clank. The fuck's a clank? Oh, you can be a machine! Oh, that's cool as fuck. So, mechanical beings built... Oh, okay, so they got their own Warforged. Okay. It's cool. Alright, alright. Demon. Of course, got their own Tiefling. I know a certain tiefling alchemist will be happy about this. I'm sure the dragons in this, you can go down bad over them. Yes, I'm calling you out. I'm kidding, I like your stuff, don't worry about it. You keep being a massive tailed tiefling, you. This one's got a small tail from looks of it. Oh. That's interesting, so you can just go now and internalize the fear. And dread visage, your advanced rolls. Ooh, okay. Oh, we have dragon boys. Speaking of dragons, calm her down, boys. Calm down that tiefling alchemist. Dwarves, nice. The elves. We have elves. Oh. Interesting. So they have a trance, actually. Okay. Very. Oh. So you can be really small, can you? Interesting. Oh, there. Third. Oh, what's this? Oh, hang on. The fur ancestors and goats. Oh, okay, so they're like satyrs. Interesting. Okay. That's quite cool. Alright. Furbolg. Nice. I mean, I figured he'd do a full bulk. Gorham's Emporium has to continue, boys. Oh, that's really interesting. So they're just chill as fuck. Okay. Shroom people. The mushroom human form. Okay. The one from the picture of the thumbnail I posted. So turtle people. Giants. A giant. Oh, JD must be happy about that. Nice. Goblin. That's a cool sword, actually. Alright. Once put a short rest, you may mark a stress to make the GM reroll. Oh, nice. Halflings, of course. Good old humanity. Aren't we a menace? Ah. Cat people. Interesting. Okay. The Makote players will be very happy with this. I say as though I'm one of them. Orc. Nice. Oh, we got frog people, boys. Let's go. And a simmer, which we can't look at right now. We will get. Maybe we'll get to see them later. Choose your community. Okay, so you can be a highborn. So you have money. You're wealthy. You're probably a snob. Maybe not. You don't have to necessarily be a snob. You probably don't pay tax in this case. Lawborn. Oh, okay. Nice, nice. Orderborn. Yeah, probably part of the church. Ridgeborn. Build in the wilderness. The Rocky Peaks. Seaborn. Let's see. Slyborn. Okay, so you're a classic rogue. Underborn. Underground, deep in the mines of Moria. Wanderborn, you never had a home, you just wander. Wildborn, you're a wild person. Wilds. Languages, your character. The game assumes that everyone speaks a common language. It's up to you whether or not the mundane or magical means. It's something like, okay. So language isn't built in. Okay. Side character traits. So this is the numbers, which we have to talk about the fucking numbers. That's been my head rent free. God damn it, Temba. Fucking numbers. So what's they mean? Well, makes numbers in this case with agility. How good you do the leapy, the jumpy, and other things that require your feet. And maneuvering. And probably also your hands. Just being quick. You know what agility does, come on. It's the stat you all have at like fucking 20 on 5e, except when you don't. You don't have it as your dump stat normally, do you? Not if you don't. Not if you like fireballs, or rather, don't like being blown up by them. Strength, the one you actually have as a dump stat normally. Finesse. Ah, so maybe this is more the hands one. Okay. Okay. So they've actually. Ah, so it's not called dexterity. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Fine tools. Give a notice of striking with an exacting aim. Instinct. So your perception. Okay. That sense of feeling, like you know that one taco too many, you know. Knowledge. How big brain you are. The other thing you probably don't. But maybe not this time. Okay. So, dispute the following. So you do your stat creation by having 1 great stat, 2 okay stats, 2 average stats, and 1 you're shit at. 1 you're trash at. Maybe we can think about it later. I don't know. There's no bonuses for ancestry, as far as I can tell. Now, record additional character information, because yes, there's more. Your evasion score's a thing. You may remember evasion, I mentioned it before. It's your ability to not get hit, and you probably don't want to be hit. That's great, isn't it? Not being hit's fantastic. You should try not being hit. Just don't get hit, idiot. Your class's starting evasion appears, I think it's 9 by default, if I remember correctly. Character's vision, different narrative. A wizard, okay, yes, you can totally narrative that. Your wizard may just whoosh, you know. Okay, yeah. Fears the mind it a bit because it's one of those. They do reference City of Mist as a reference for what they use for this, so expect a bit more theatreiness, less crunch. Though they reference D&D 4e, which is weird because that's crunchy as fuck. But okay. Hit points and stress. Now let's talk about hit points and stress. It's important. Don't be stressed. In this or real life. Yeah, this help. Advice I should take myself. So, hit points. Or HP. Abstract reflection of physical fortitude. Well, isn't it always? Yep. Now, hit points, from what they showed off in this, is essentially you have thresholds, okay? Depending on your stats, your threshold varies, if I understand it correctly. Oh, it may be class-based. I'll have to double check. They might mention that at some point here. Okay. Yeah, as I understand it though, there's like, you have thresholds, okay, and there's pips, and you basically mark up the pips of how many health you take. So, essentially, you have thresholds, okay, so let's say you take 3 damage, okay? That's the minimum threshold for you to actually get hurt. You'd mark a pip. You take 5 damage, okay, that's 2 pips. You take 9 damage. I think it's more, I think it's a bit more than that. I think it's like 3... There's different stages, like I think I saw something like 14 with the higher end, but basically, the more the damage threshold you go over, the more pips. Armor can reduce how much damage you take, so it might lower you down a pip, so you don't like lose as much. And you have to repair that armor. So armor's a resource itself. If you get hit but the threshold isn't good enough though, you take a stress. So stress can be induced by a few things, as I understand it. Using abilities can cause stress. So it's a resource, but also it can be a health pool of itself. And if you get too stressed, you'll take an actual HP damage. Yeah, I mentioned the damage threshold. So that's kind of the rough how it works. Hope and fear. Hope is the currency that represents the way fate can turn the character's favour during the game. Yep, start with 2 hope character creation, mark those hope section of the character sheet. Anytime you roll with hope on your duality dice, so 1 dice is hope, 1 dice is fear, and your 2d12s you roll. If you roll higher, and then the fear die, you gain additional hope. maximum of 5. During the game, you can use your hope to help allies, apply your life experiences and challenges, and empower your spells and abilities. So it's a good resource. It's like fate points in Dark Heresy or inspiration. It's like a better inspiration as well. You instead roll with fear. That's about to die. If you roll fear, meaning the fear dice side, of course, the GM gets that as a resource. Fear dice is a GM resource, so if you roll bad fear, that's great. Mine, I get that. I get to do things with that. My monsters get to do things. If I have fear tokens, I can interrupt your turn. I can do various things with them. So, you can also use complications, right? So you can. I imagine there's probably like a aggressive success, maybe. Don't think did I mention it here? There's a section about rolling with fear in part 2. Okay, there's a section about rolling with fear, so they'll get to that. But basically, from the way it sounds at this point, let's say if you're familiar with Vampire the Masquerade, if you roll hungry dice, if you're hungry, and you roll too high on that, you can succeed, but still have a kind of a messy critical. So like, you find the book, but you tear apart the other books to get that book, right? Also, hopefully you hear the helicopter going over my fucking house. I'm hoping the mic's tuning it out. Fucking bastards flying over at this hour. Like it's in the middle of the day or anything. Okay, physical weapons. Okay, yeah, equipment now. Right, your weapons. Important. Spellcasting traits such as subclass may also use magical, wield magic weapons, such as made of magic. Okay, okay, so zero weapons, primary and second weapon tables. Okay. Interesting. Alright, level 1, your proficiency is 1, meaning you will generally roll 1 damage die. So you roll more damage for your proficiency going up. Okay, that is interesting. What's your character sheet labeled damage and die type? Record your damage die with the proficiency value already listed. Excuse me, like it's like 1d6 instead of d6. Reminding you how many weapon you roll. If you increase proficiency, you also increase the number of dice. Okay, so you do more damage as you level up, just flat out. Okay, that is an interesting way of doing it. Your armor, which will have varying pips of its own. Other starting items, torches, 50 foot of rope, basic supplies, handful of gold, your choice of minor health or a minor stamina potion. Stamina clears stress. One is medicine, one is probably just alcohol, let's be entirely honest. Kidding. It does not relieve stress. Get some help. I feel like I have to make this disclaimer every fucking time I make the alcohol joke. But I really should. Just be a moral entity. Record the items you're in inventory. Yep, obviously do that. Don't forget to write them down, you twat. Otherwise I will slap you. Me personally, I will come through your screen and strangle you if you don't note down your stuff. And to any DMs listening, strangle the shit out of them if they forget. Obviously help them, but sometimes a good strangling helps. Don't actually strangle your players. I don't want a horror story about how Baron Zarka told me to strangle my players. That is not my fault. You should strangle them, I'm kidding. Don't strangle them. Except you should. No. Okay. Anyway, background. Who the fuck are they? Who are you? Who are you, chat? Do you have any idea? Well, I don't care who you are. I care who your character is right now. Who is your character? Who is Bob McBogface right now? Alright. Answer me that question. Ooh. Move that over there. Who is Bob McBogface? Right. Who is this person? Who are they, and why do they do what they do? Now, I pressed a button and forgot it popped on screen there. Choose your experiences. What the hell have you been doing? What are you doing with your life? Well, tell us in there. Are you a swashbuckler? Did you do magic studies? These are important because you actually get stuff from them. Are you an assassin because you're an edgy little fucker? Your specialists can't give you specific spells or specific abilities. Okay, yeah. So take flight. There is a class that gives you flight, by the way. That's the Seraphim just has a flight subclass. One hit kill, 2% guaranteed. Okay, so these are quite broad, are they? Oh god, okay. This is going to require some, like, fucking wrangling, isn't it? Okay. Prepare to wrangle them a little bit, folks. Get the noose around the cowboy and drag him around the fucking lot until he understands that, no, you can't just put one shot. You also encourage add flavour to your experiences. The flavour. You have to do that. Go down to flavour town. For example, instead of just an assassin, something like an assassin of the Sapphire Syndicate. You're just a pigeon assassin. You see a pigeon, you just fucking shoot them. That one that wakes you up in the morning first thing, yeah, that specific guy, fuck that guy. Shoot that pigeon. Leave pigeons alone, they're hard enough as it is. Fuck that one in particular. But yeah. If you encounter an ally of the Syndicate... Yeah, exactly. So let's say you encounter the Syndicate ally. You can do things with them based on your experience. You might know them. You might hate them. But they might have information. Experience examples. So, backgrounds. Bodyguard. Con artist. Yeah. Specializations. You're a magical historian. Or a fucking nerd. You're a swashbuckler. Maybe you make maps. Someone has to, right? Maybe you can do bartering. Maybe, you know, you're quick with your hands. Maybe you're actually quite dummy strong. I don't know. Mark it down. Phrases like chef of the royal family. I won't let you down. Street doctor. It's not a negotiation. I'll catch you. Okay, interesting. So that's pretty open, but there's things that can apply in situations. Okay. That one's going to definitely require a bit of talk over session 0. And wrangling. Firm wrangling. So, using experiences. Is that rolled? Ow. Excuse me. Shadows and stealthy, if it fits. Okay, yeah, so it's just if they fit the situation. Fair enough. Changing them. But you're not all stuck with ones you've already chosen. You can later discover during play that your experience your previously chosen isn't feeling right anymore. For example, a GM might notice that the way you're using the experience isn't a good fit for group's collaborative story. So you can change them with a bit of assistance from the GM. Choose domain cards. Okay. Those cards. Core building blocks of a class in Daggerheart. In the core rulebook, they consist of Arcane, Blade, Bone, Codex, Grace, Midnight, Sage, Splendor, and Valor. Each domain has a domain deck. A deck of cards. Deck of many, you might say. As a contained set of abilities and spells with a central theme or focus. Details of each domain represent how they use it. Domain cards. Okay, so there are domains. They do things. They do interesting things. So he's got to show one of a class. Okay, yes. So Blade. Okay, Blade is shared between Guardian and Warrior. Sage is shared between. Okay, yes. So they've got some shared domains. Encouraged to coordinate with them and choose different cards in the domain deck. Okay, yeah. So you got some. I don't know how that works. The cards are kind of funny. Create connections. Obviously. See what this is saying? I'm going to summarize the section by saying, don't be the fucking orphan with no family, with no connections. Everyone's dead, and you're in the corner being a little fucking weasel. Don't do that. Not in this system. You want connections. I might have to close my window. There's a bike driving up outside. But, well, let me know if you can hear that, by the way. I'll close a window or something. In fact, hang on. There we go. That should be better. That should be much better. Now, where were we? So, yeah, don't be a weasel. Get connections. Get some friends. You have friends around the table, yeah? Give your character friends. Give them family. Alright. You'll have the characters, more guns here coming soon. God damn it. Okay, fine. This is level 1. So we went over this a bit earlier, but now we understand evasion. Armor. Now, you see here. 3 is a minor. You mark 1 pip. 8 is a major. You mark 2. 13 is severe. You mark 3. You have 6 pips at base, sir. Now, this could be stress. Which, obviously, once you get enough then, that also gets a little mark. Start with 2 hope. You are a royal mage, and not on my watch. So, you're good at... So, royal mage, obviously, you know, you're good with some magical chicanery. And not on my watch. It's probably more like a reactive kind of thing. You might, like, use it to stop someone doing something, yeah? So... let's see. So, primary weapon here is a dual staff. Trait and range. Instinct fear. So, what's this? Instant. Is it instant? Yeah, instant far. Okay. So it's got a far range, which I remember that's. Is that a line of paper? Or is that a card? No, that would be a card. Probably mention range later. It is a bit more fair to the mind, but you can. They have built it so you can use minis and that kind of thing. And this staff acts as magic damage. Okay, so you actually can do some magical shit as a mage. It's a high magic setting. I should have bloody hoped so. This is a sorcerer, specifically. It's Arcana and Knight. They are a lawborn elf. They're an elven nerd. The primal origin. They have arcane sense. They can do minor illusion. Roll with a spellcast. 10 on a success. You can create a minor illusion no larger than yourself when a close range that is convincing to anyone in near or far range or further. Okay, illusion magic definitely would fit well in this system. Jesus Christ, they're trying to shake the house with that bloody bike. I'm sorry if you can hear the bike in the background. Hopefully you can't. I'd be very pissed off if you can. Anyway, the joys of live streaming, yeah. Channel raw power. Once the long rest, you can place a domain card from your loadout into your vault and choose to either gain 1 hope, it's the level of the card, add 1 magic damage equal to twice the level of the card as a spell attack you suddenly cast. Okay. So the sorcerer suggested traits, you want to have a lot of instinct, because they are not a wizard, they're not a nerd. Even though this person's lawborn, it's a bit of a nerd. Just a weapons, a dual staff. Just, I'm a breastplate. Okay, so I just got a breastplate as a mage, of all things. Take then choose between a. So you take that. That's what you just take. Then you choose between a minor health potion or a minor sound potion, and either a whispering orb or a family heirloom. I have no idea what these do. Character description. Choose 1 or more of the following each line to make your own. Oh, you can make your own, of course. You don't have to worry about that. But clothes are 1/8. You can have other options. Eyes are earth, like earth. They're brown. Body that is curvy and toned. I'm sure some of you are very interested all of a sudden. Colour of ashes. Attitude like a commander. So she's a very commanding figure. Seems very well built. here at levels 2 to 4. At level 2, take additional experience. Okay, so interesting. Then choose 2 available options from the list below, mark them. Okay. So between levels 2 to 4, you can get to pick from here. Levels 5 to 7, you get to pick from here. And levels 8 to 10, you get to pick from here. And these are our domains. Now we can finally see them. Arcane. So this is any kind of magic, innate or instinctual. So any magical chicanery goes through this. This is controls of that. That's just some raw stuff of magic. Blade, obviously, is for wielding weaponry. Bone is for swiftness and technical mastery. Okay. Of their own okay, it's a lot of their own physical stuff. Adherence and parallel understanding of the bodies and movement. And okay. Interesting. Codex is the study of magic. So this is something just beyond the base stuff for that. Grace, obviously being charisma. Midnight, shadows and secrecy. To the rogue's domain. But there's a bit of magical shenanigans here. Okay. Sage, yes, natural world. Okay. Makes sense to me. That's like druids and that kind of thing. Makes sense. Splendor is life. Okay, so this is the Russell of magic. That's like pure, like, I guess, arcane magic, I'm assuming. This is more the studying of said magic. This seems to have its own shenanigans you can perform. That's outside of that base arcane magic. This also is magic, but is more primal magic, it's like druidic stuff. And this is like divine magic, you would seem. Healing, but also death. So yeah, this gives you life and death, essentially. So you could argue there's a hidden side to the symbol, which is just, I don't know, inverted. Valor, which is protection. So this is being the tank of the group. And using your domain cards, okay. So there is cards you use in this. You have a deck of many, you have... Okay. Level and domain. So yeah, the level is obviously how high you have to be to use it. Recall cost. Top right card number... Okay, level symbol is card recall cost. Once you reach level 5, you'll have more cards than your space in your loadout. When you want to move a card into a vault... Okay. So, that's the 4 inspiration then. Because 4 readers, like, if I understand correctly, you have, like, actions that you have to swap out. And every class has this, not just spellcasters. So that's interesting. Okay. It's more about the kind of things you can do. Okay, okay. Interesting. I like it. Obviously, I'm just going over this. By all means, take this away with you. I believe I posted the link earlier. And, in fact, I'll repost it just on the off. You missed me posting it before. There you go. Just so it's there for you, in case you missed it the first time. Just so you've got the link to it. Okay. Let's choose take. Okay, put it on your hand. Okay, Nice, okay, so load out and vault. You can only have a maximum of 5 domain cards active at one time, along with your subclass, ancestry, and community cards. But those won't have access to enough cards. Okay. Over above, you'll need to choose which domain cards to keep. Okay, so you do have to sort of sort those out. So being a caster doesn't mean you have more options, which I like, because that's one of the big issues of 5e to me. Casters have way too many options, and martials have literally none in comparison. It's kind of sad. Your options are swing sword, okay. And then what else? Nothing. That's what cards in your vault loadout. You can do some immediately by marking stress equal to card to gold cost. When you do switch to another main card, placing on top. Okay. For adjusting loadout during short long rest, downtime, you can do. Okay, so this is something you should probably do in downtime, but you can in a stressful situation induce stress to give it to you. Okay. So that's the thing you can do. So you can heart drag them in. Let's go to class. So obviously each class has domains, we've talked about those earlier. They have their own, okay, so classes determine damage thresholds. They also have their own starting evasion score. Class items. Okay, class features, yep. Choosing subclass grants the following features. Subclass trait. If you're a spellcaster, this trait is your subclass. If you're a spellcaster, this is the character trait your subclass uses anytime you're required to make a spellcaster roll. Foundation feature. So, again, it's a card for them. Specialization feature in levels. Okay. And mastery feature as you gain levels of plus mastery card gaining. Okay, so these you get on top of your base cards. Okay. So we'll start with the bard. How long have we been going? I've still got time. Okay. We'll probably do the classes and the like. I'll do the classes and the. I'll probably get to the community section, and that's about as far as I'll get, I think. There's only like a brief look over. If there's any interest in me looking at more of this, by all means, I'll look at it more. If there's interest in me doing a game of this, I might try and learn it and see if anyone's interested in doing a little one-shot or something. But yeah, looking at the bard. What you expect, right? They're creatives, they captivate, they do various performance types, you know, the kind of things you expect, singing, playing musical instruments, right? But they are learned, they're not idiots, they are learned, right? These are professional, charismatic people. You don't have to be the pretty dumb one here, you can be the person who knows how to use their looks effectively, who knows what to say, you've been taught it. And you've been taught how to play an instrument. Like, you're not an idiot. You've been taught how to do things. It's, I think, a very common misconception that, you know, maybe the bard's like the sort of just the charismatic goof, but it's like, no. You can be an intelligent bard, and in fact, there's plenty of avenues where a bard is a very intellectual person. In 5e, they're kind of a very bit of a skill monkey, actually. Not just in charismatic stuff, but in intellectual fields. And it seems like with the domains Grace and Codex, that's what they're implying here too. So, yeah, you're pretty squishy. Your class items, a romance novel, or a lesson never opened. Interesting building there. Class feature is rally. Okay. So you have Bardic Inspiration, essentially. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's basically Bardic Inspiration, what it reminds me of a lot. So, as of right now. Wordsmith. Spellcast trait presence. Okay, so you use your presence, which I guess kind of fits. That's kind of your sort of projection out there, if you're a wordsmith. Heart of the Poet. Yes, so you are able to... Oh, okay. So you can gain bonuses to doing stuff against somebody. A rousing speech. Rest. So the leader trait. Okay. Specializing feature. Moving words can boost the morale of the group when you use your skill as a linguist to raise the member of a group up. Once per session, you can do the following. Allow them to find a mundane object, tool they need. Help an ally by spending a hope as usual, but roll d8 instead of d6 with advantage die. Give them an additional downtime activity during rest. So you get 2 during downtime. Just to sort of jump ahead in that one, you get 2. But this gives you an extra. That's interesting. A mastery feature. The rally die dispute reduces to d10. In addition, if you help an ally when you narrate the moment as you were writing at the table,
The tale of the heroism as a memoir. Your advantage die health with D10. Nice. And then Troubadour. This also uses presence, so the subclasses look like you get from day one, and the subclasses actually give you what you cast with. That's interesting. That's quite interesting, actually. So that implies when they do more, there might be ones that use knowledge, for example. Okay. Okay. So, stage rallying songs. Okay. That's quite useful. Giving someone help clearing stress. So okay, you can manage the group stress better and buff them. Nice. Great skill. Everyone needs to be performed each foundation songs. Okay. The skill agreed to unbound. You can perform each of foundation songs additional time. Okay, nice. So I see the foundation features here. I skipped over this stupidly. Once per long, they can do it twice. Nice. Okay, nice. Okay, yeah. So it's this is definitely the group sort of. They're both quite supportive, but in different ways. So that's more calm. This has got one for every. This is literally a subclass with buffs for any situation. Interesting. And then it goes over the additional stuff here. I won't go too much into detail of that. We've got a few together. Druid, Sage, and Arcana. Makes sense. Damage on 8. So you're more likely to be hit, but you're a bit more tanky by 1 for the thresholds. Okay. Both of those bag of rocks and bones, curse some stuff to them. This, you could obviously have some interesting lore implications. Wild touch. You can perform harmless, stable, subtle acts that involve nature at will, causing a flower to rapidly grow, summon a slight... Oh, nice, okay, so you just have Druidcraft. Beast form, okay, so you can become a beast. With marks of stress. Interesting, so that's just baked in. Nice. You use your abilities, weapons, armor, and domain cards, but gain the features and traits bonus to the creature. Drop out anytime. Okay, so wild shape, essentially, but way smaller as explained, because Jesus Christ. Let's see. So you are in one elements. Use instinct. Okay, I suspect they're both going to use instinct, aren't they? Yes. So foundation feature. Mental inclination, mark a stressed embody element. Okay. Yeah, this is literally the druid from the Mighty Nine? Legend of Vox Machina, that's it. That's literally her. That's what this is. So, yeah, you can burst into fire, gain armor, water, deal damage on enemy melee range, all of it. Okay, nice, so you splash someone with heavy water, hurting them, and then everyone else in the area marks, other enemies mark stress. So all those enemies there get a little bit bonked. You can hover 2 feet, gain advantage on... Yeah, flight seems to be quite early on. That you can just do. And then, once for short, so later on, your specialization feature, you have to pick... Oh, so that can be used during beast form too. Okay. And you don't get stuck with an element, you can do whatever you want. Nice. Okay. So some nice buffs there. So that's just spreading the... So you set people on fire, thus giving them stress. You can... Your allies gain some armor score. Water, enemy... After enemy reacts, you can spend a hope to move them anywhere within close range. And air. If your ally get damaged by a ranged attack, reduce it by 1d8. And that might drop it below threshold. And the mastery feature later on. Some proficiencies your stuff, so that's an extra dice, that's quite powerful. When you mark an armor slot, roll a d6 to find more you may clear an armor slot, so you just don't lose that armor. Okay. When you're hit by an attack, you can take a stress and make the hit by an attack, you can take a stress to make the attacker vulnerable. Okay. Gain evasion and can fly. Nice. Okay. Nothing bad to say about that one. It's just a nice class that meshes nicely with the druid, as far as I can tell, from what they've shown us here. So this one, clarity of nature, long rest, you may create a space of natural scenery around you. After spending a few minutes resting in the space, you can clear. Okay, this is the super supporty one. This is the healer supporter. Generation. So you just heal people. You may use any of your foundation features on beast form. Long rest, target yourself or an ally in close range. Number of armor slots equals to. Oh! So you can just heal armor too. That's good. Even in an animal form. Now transformation embodies a healing guardian spirit. While you're in beast form and when an ally is within close range, which is like, I think card length, they said. Marks 2 hit point. No stress and reduce. Okay, so you can take stress to just heal them. Nice. And then there is a section here for beast form 2 of what you can actually. So it's not quite in the same way as before. So I say that. Not say before. So it's 5e. So in 5e you take a particular animal stat sheet, whereas this lets you pick like a variety. So agile scout, pack animal, aquatic scout. So you can be aquatic immediately. Level 2 you get winged beast, brutish beast. Level 5 great winged beast, speedy beast. Level 7 aquatic predator, great predator. Level 9 massive behemoth. So you got some options there. Alright, I like that. It's very simple laid out. Like they've definitely fixed the issues of druid in 5e quite nicely there by just making it nice and simple. That's more approachable druid. Now the guardian. These are martial professionals, so this is the fighter. Guardian's the fighter. So your evasion's pretty crap, but your thresholds are great. Stone totem of your mentor or a secret key. Interesting. Just physical damage. Oh shit, okay. Yep, yeah. I mean, all these are good. There's a frontline fighter, 100%. That's just something you get. You can just go, nah, I can. Oh, you get all these at once. I'm stupid. Holy shit, that's amazing. Yeah, that's a cool feature. I like that as a frontline fighter. 100%. It gets better over time. Guardian subclass. So this is what I expected. You are the frontline tank. You are this actual walking wall. You know, the enemy is up against the wall, and you are the fucking wall. Love it. When you take the foundation, raise your damage threshold by 2. Holy fuck! So you aren't taking damage. When you take physical damage, you may spend hope instead of making an armor slot. Yep, so you don't have to give a shit about. You can just spend your hope, so you don't lose anything other than a potential buff later. It'll cost you something, but it's better than taking actual damage. Resolution feature. So when you get it raises it up again by 1. Okay. When an eye within close range takes damage, you may mark an armor slot reduced. Okay. Oh. Hey, GM Lena, thank you for the follow. It's very, very kind of you there. Hope you're having a good time with the stream. I'm currently just going over the Dragonheart stuff from Matt Mercer. I'm mostly just rambling at this point, but I hope you're having a good time, and please stay as long as you like, and I hope you enjoy my rambles of a long-time GM, I guess. Not as long as some people, definitely, but I'm sort of looking at this. Hello. I'm sort of looking at this as like, see if something about when I try my plays at some point. We've gone through a few of these stuff. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Like, from what I've seen, Like, I'm just sort of at the Guardian at this point, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's definitely a bit more... I'm trying to sort of figure it out, really, because it's like somewhere between those more fluffier systems, right? Like City of Mist, as they mentioned. But it's like not quite as crunchy. It doesn't seem like it's as crunchy as 5e, right? Like, there's no set kind of movement stuff. There's no... It's a weird one. But I kind of like it, though. Like, looking at... I mean, I was going with the Druid, right? But this is... kind of like... I'm not 100%. Yeah, that's feel like there's a lot of stuff I like, but as you say, the mechanics are certain bits. I'm like, because I like having a bit more. I tend to do something roll 20. So that's something you have to take for. Yeah, exactly. I'd agree with you there. It's definitely one of those things you've got to like try it out and see about it. Like I haven't got any major red flags so far. I will say, like, I will say the Druid. I like how they've done Druid as well. Just to sort of scroll back up here to it. Comparing that to 5e's Druid, if I was to go to a new player who's never played any tabletop fantasy before, and say, hey, do you like Druid? And they say, yeah, sounds cool. And they go, here's 5e's Druid. Oh god, that's a long paragraph. Or I give them this one. And then I show them this table. Let me full size it. It's like, that's so much simpler. Like, level 1 is just, it's kind of like one of these. Here's some things it gives. Here's some advantages it takes on, here's a trait. And here's like, something else to mention. Like, it's fragile, so you take more damage. But it's agile, so you're pretty speedy. Even like later on, like the massive behemoth, right? You can kind of... It's fairly simple to approach. It's not like it's an entire stat sheet. You haven't got to, like, have an entire section. I know when I run Druid in 5e, sometimes I have to have an entire section for just their beast shapes. So it's nice to not have to do that in the system, honestly. Yeah, I was up... Where was it before? I was at the stall, wasn't I? This thing just seems like an absolute behemoth. Like... When I say the wall, I mean this. When you take the mastery, you raise it down. Yeah, your thresholds get so high. But it really does. It's nice that the mechanical side invokes what I suspected it was meant to be. Like when I hear Stalwart, I think of this, defensive thing, this something that can take hits, and this feels like it can take hits. Stress to sprint. Okay. So you even have like the interception feature. Okay. So you've got... I can see where they've pulled a lot of this from. And honestly, that seems pretty cool to me. So you really can be this fighter that just takes the hits, can just take blows and keep going. I like that. Vengeance. So... it gains an armor slot immediately. Okay. When you hit an enemy, and you got one slot for damage immediately. Okay. Yeah, this is the killy one. This is the killy one, 100%. So you gain an armor slot, but you can mark one to brutalize someone who's dumb enough to fight you. Okay. Nice. Special feature. Enemy damage. When enemy damage is an ally melee range, next successful attack you make against the enemy. Okay. So. Fitting the vengeance theme, you hurt my guys, I hurt you better. So it's an extra damage dice you gain, so that's pretty potent. And the mastery feature, spend a hope to mark an enemy, so you get Hunter's Mark at this point. Okay, an extra. Let's see if we can attack instantly. You can just one hope if you have. Oh no, it's not like Hunter's Mark. Okay, but you can make the probability better. Okay, I'm not sure I like it as much as Stalwart. But I see the point, and I guess with like everything else they get, yeah, I mean permanently adding health, stress, yeah. Okay, Yeah, you can increase your damage thresholds accordingly across the place. Yeah, okay, so you are... This one's, in a way, simpler, but also... It's sort of... a bit more DPS-y, but I guess like you're still the tank. This is just like... This is the off-tank, in a way. But this is definitely the main tank, 100%. But I don't hate it. I think I definitely... The Stalwart drags me in more, but I don't hate Vengeance, honestly. I could see plenty of unique, interesting things to do with that. So... A Ranger. Now this one I'm quite interested in, because Ranger, a lot of the time, has magic involved and other things, so I'm quite curious how they're going to deal with Ranger. As many Rangers do have a fact size. Okay. Does not mention magic. Okay, that's going to be interesting then, because normally those are magic in. So, let's see. Very evasive. Not bad thresholds in comparison to some of the others. Trophy first kill or seemingly broken compass. Again, either something from your background or something with narrative potential. That I like. Class feature, Ranger's focus. Spend a hope to make an attack or weapon on success. You temporarily have focus on the targets. This is the Hunter's Mark. Okay. While focused, you know precisely what direction they're in. Oh, yeah, Hunter's Mark, 100%. All damage rolls. Yep. Okay. On a missed attack you make against them, you may end Ranger's focus and reroll ability dice and take a new result. Nice. Okay. That's good. That's a nice little... I like that. So... only hold focus on what... Okay, that makes sense. So your subclasses, the Wayfarer or the Companion. Let's see the Wayfarer, so... no, so they do have... So this one has spellcasting. This one's spellcasting. It does, but let's see. Interesting. Okay, see how their spellcasting works, though, because it might... It mentions it anyway here. Apex Predator, mark as stress to increase your pressure by 1 and rolling damage. When you deal damage to an enemy, you can never hit below the minor threshold. Oh. That actually is quite potent. Okay. That's good, actually. I like that it's... You don't even have to do magical. Okay, that's a lot. That's certainly a better thing than what Rangers tend to get in 5e. It feels a lot more... It just feels a bit more better, really, in a way, because you're actually the sort of precision expert. You know, you can hit people a lot better. Like how a fighter might swing wildly, or let's say wildly with precision, but not quite the dead-eye precision that a ranger might have. Path forward, when you're headed for a place you previously visited, or you carry an object with you that has been there before, you can find the short. Okay, so there is some exploration, but then this is the kind of system where that might take more precedent, but it's not a major feature of the ranger from what it seems like. That's good, because I know base ranger in 5e, and I keep using the 5e as the comparison here, but that's like... This is kind of in a similar space, I feel, and I know 5e better than Pathfinder, so I can compare a bit. But they're definitely... It's a factor of Ranger, but it's not everything, which is good, because travel is not an often liked feature. I know myself, I often have a hard time figuring out how I do travel. Sometimes it's, you know, just, look, you get in a car, you go there, but sometimes I want to do stuff with it. So, specialization feature, when the creature is marked, your ranger's focus attacks you, your evasion is increased against the attack by a number equal to the agility trait. Okay. So that's, okay, so yeah. That reminds me a bit of the Monster Hunter Ranger, with how you can just shoot a guy trying to grapple you instead of doing the roll. Okay, so it's definitely... makes you a lot more of the... You pick a target, like the big monster, and you focus down that monster. I like it, okay, it's a lot more focused in than like the Guardian, who's even the Vengeance one's more of a generalist, attack everyone kind of guy. This is definitely you home in on someone. Good distinction. When you make an attack roll against enemy marked with ranger's focus, you may spend a hope before a roll on a success. You may remove one fear. Okay, so you can actually take GM resource away. That seems quite useful in this system because fear, as I understand it, the more fear you've got as a GM, the more like things you can do. You can interrupt turns, you can do special actions, as I understand it. So the ranger can sort of attack that. Okay, I like that actually. The ranger's almost like the anti-boss kind of guy. So whereas everyone else is sort of dealing with the ads, you focus in on the main guy, and oh, I gain fear? No, I take that from you eventually. Okay, I like that. So that's the Wayfarer. Nothing complex, but honestly, it's a nice, simple addition, and I have nothing too bad to say about it, honestly. I feel I can get a vibe for the character quite quickly. Now, the companion. The companion should be interesting. So, you have an animal companion of your choice at GM's discretion. You take the ranger companion. You take the ranger companion sheet whenever you level up the character. You can also choose a level up option for your companion on the sheet. Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay, so okay, I like that a lot. You can make your little buddy better. I always like it when you can make your little buddy better. The Drake Warden Ranger's cool for that reason, so this is nice. Specialization. When you take the specialization, you gain an additional level option for your companion immediately. Love it. When the enemy attacks you while you're melee with ranger companion, gain +2 evasion against the attack. You've already got 10 evasion, I think. Was it 10? You have 10 evasion, so you're only like 12 at that point. That's alright. Nice. That definitely encourages you to be more melee orientated. What I like as well, so far, I've not seen anything that specifies ranged or not. So I can actually play a melee ranger, which is so nice to hear. When you take specialization, you gain mash feature and gains specialization. You gain 2 level up options for your companion immediately. Again, love it. Once per long rest, if you or your companion are close range of each other, the damage from an attack would take you or your companion out to the fight. The other may immediately rush to the side and take the damage instead. That's nice, I like that. Okay, then this one, they have a slightly different sheet here because they've got a companion. Interesting. I guess every class has got a slightly different sheet, but I like that they've got their own bit for the companion. That's nice. Okay, so they've got a lot of nice stuff going for them there. Do they have... Let me just open this up. So this is the companion sheet specifically. So they get their damage dies. So they start at D4, go up to D10. Got their own stress meter. Okay, so you're... Okay, so they actually don't die, they don't take health if they get too stressed, they just get away. I kind of like that. That means you don't lose your companion. Plus, no one lets you lose the cute little buddy, do they? Let's be honest. Doggo gets out of this and survives. Even if you don't, Doggo survives. I vouch for that. Doesn't have to be Doggo, it can be anything, but... okay. Training. Whenever you or your character gets level up, also choose one of the options currently in the market. Intelligence. Choose an additional companion trait. Light in the dark. Use this additional hope. Okay, nice. Creature comfort when you take down companion. Oh, that's quite nice. Okay, that's quite cute. You can just cuddle your companion to feel better. That's that's fucking adorable. God damn it. That's fucking adorable. I can't even ignore that. Alright, someone had fun with this. Armor. I can put him in armor. Love it. Okay, the ranger seems quite... I actually like this one a lot. I normally don't like companion classes, but I actually love this one a lot. Like, I can put him in armor. I can give him a cuddle. I can use him as hope. When you mark a set point, your companion rushes to your side to comfort you. Oh, fucking hell. Are you trying to pull at my heartstrings here? Let me just maximize this up so you can see this easier. When you mark your last hit point, your companion rushes to your side to comfort you. Roll a number of d6 equal to the available stress slots they have and mark them. On a 6, they get you up, clear your last hit point, and return to the scene. Oh, that's fucking adult. Fuck me, that's actually fucking tear-jerking nearly. Jesus Christ. And then increase evasion by 2. Okay. Alright, Matty Mercer. Fucking attacking my heartstrings of adorableness there. Jesus. Alright. That's... Okay, that's some of the cutest fucking companionship I've seen. Literally... Yes. Honestly, I think mine would too. I know I fucking would. Like, that's... Okay. If I ever play this system, Ranger's on my list. Literally, yes. Thankfully, the animal can't die. It doesn't mention... If they get too stressed, they run off. They go hide somewhere. So... And then they come back at a long rest. So... You can't lose your little buddy. You'll go before they do. That's quite nice. Okay. And then this is the... Alright, okay. So this is a non-magical ranger as well, so I like that a lot. I like that a lot, honestly. Okay. Alright. I think my overall summary is I like the ranger, and I actually really like the companion. The Wayfarer is cool too, but I actually like the companion a lot. That, so far, is one of the best sort of having a little buddy options I've seen in a while, so yeah, I rate it highly. Right, let's get on to the edgy fuckers. I see you over there, rogue, in the corner, trying to not socialise with the party. With your 12 evasion score. God damn, that's a base evasion 12. Oh. You ain't getting hit too often, and not a terrible threshold either. Okay. Alright, this is probably less cute and more... Let's see what we get. Forgery tools or grappling hook. Alright, yep, the tools of the trade. Rogue got a rogue. Rogue got a rogue. Let's see how this rogue rogues, shall we? You can hide, so that no one can see your angst. How long are you hidden? After you move or attack, when you leave hidden, or to make an attack, roll with advantage. God damn it, the bike's going again. Sneak attack. Good old sneak attack. It crosses over. If you're advantage on attack roll... Oh, they're going to ask about advantage now, aren't they? Attack roll now, like... Oh, now it's a melee target, so they brought that over. Always add a d8 to your damage roll when you use sneak attack. You may also spend any number of hope before the attack. And if it is successful, add the number to... Okay, yes, so you can just blitz someone with that. As I should expect from the rogue, though. So just base rogue, you're sneaky, and you can shank someone in the ribs. I expected nothing less, and I got what I expected. So far, so good. Now the Syndicate. This is the conversationalist rogue, I believe. Who hopefully... Yep. Knows everybody way too well and knows way too much about them. God, they're trying to get their bike to pick up on the mic. God damn it. Apologies if you hear a bike. Someone's revving a bike right outside the house. When you arrive in a heavily town, city, you know somebody that calls this place home. Give them a name. Note how you... Okay, so this is definitely really... You need to take advantage of the connections feature in this system. This rogue really wants to have connections, so I think this is definitely the RP's rogue. This is the rogue who wants to have... I want to know Jimmy. I want to be able to walk up to Jimmy and go, hey, how's the kids? By the way, you owe me gold. Give me a thing. I want to walk into another town and know Jess and say, hey, Jess, how's it going? Remember that time I stole back your watch? Great, wasn't it? I need you to do something for me now. You know. Or, hey, politician buddy, we had a thing once, you and me, yeah? If anyone finds out about that, you're screwed, so, do something for me, yeah? Teehee. You know? That rogue. Let me see. know how you think they could be useful or choose from them below. Okay, so they've got some examples here. So they owe me a favour, yep, but it'll be hard to find. They're going to ask something in exchange, so a merchant. Shady merchant to that. Resi 4 merchants come to mind. They're always a great deal of trouble. We used to be together. It's a long story, as I just mentioned. We didn't part on great terms. You always know someone. Specialization feature. Once per session, you can briefly call forth a shady contact. Immediately choose one of the benefits below and describe the flashback that brought them here to help you at this moment. That, okay, they definitely talk from Blades in the Dark there, because Blades in the Dark, if I recall rightly, has a whole thing about, hey, I did this beforehand, let me go back and tell you how I did it. That flashback moment. Actually, I prepared the rope earlier today by sneaking in and bribing the bartender to just ignore me while I snuck over and put a rope over his roof so I could climb up later. So let's see, they provide a handful of gold, a unique tool, or a mundane object the situation requires. Nice. When making an attack roll, their help lets you shift your hope or fear die by d3. +3. Interesting. Or fear die. Okay, no, because you can. I think you can lower. Because you want the both die to be good, but you don't want the fear die to be higher. So, okay, I can see the logic there. When dealing damage, the snipe from the shadows dealing an extra 2d8 damage to a damage roll. Okay, so they do have some combat potential here too. That's once per session, wasn't it? Yeah, once per session. Okay. Mastery feature. I can see the 4 inspiration actually, because that's got a bunch of once per session stuff in it, so that fits. When you use your specialization feature 3 times per session, you can also choose from the following options when you use it. When you mark 1 or more hit points, a contact rushes out to shield you, reducing your hit points marked by 1. When you mark a presence roll in the conversation, they back you up. You hope that becomes a d20 for the roll. Interesting. So that makes it 3 times per session, and okay. So yeah, you really are kind of like you've essentially got a web of connections. So I think to play this rogue effectively, you really want to drill down who these people are to make the most out of them, right? So you should care that someone jumps in front to help you, even if your guy might not care. Maybe deep down he does a little bit. Maybe he just manipulates, just uses people, you know, bit of a psycho like that. Maybe, but I think still the connections definitely play into this a lot. So I like that. Mastery feature. No, we've literally gone over that. Nightwalker now. This one, I believe, is a magical rogue. Or uses some magical things. Definitely use some more supernatural benefits to help themselves. So they use finesse for any spellcasting. Not that they've mentioned spellcasting trait, but not that they've mentioned actual spellcasting, but maybe some of the cards they get are spellcasting options. Foundational feature, Shadow Stepper. You can move from shadow to shadow. Oh yeah, this is going to be the edgy one, isn't it? 100%. When you step into shadow, cast when a person or object. Mark stress to disappear from where you did before. Yes, you can tell. So you have like a shadow monk. Okay, cool. I like that. Specialization feature, Dark Cloud. Make a spellcast roll. Yeah, this has got spellcasting. 15 on a success, you create a temporary dark cloud that covers an area within close distance to you. Anyone this cloud can't see, anyone in this cloud can't see outside of it, and anyone outside of it can't see in. You are considered cloaked from any enemy box line of sight. And slippery. You may spend hope to immediately slip out of anything that is physically keeping you from moving. Interesting. So you are a walking shadow. They can't contain you. You can make clouds. You can teleport from shadow. This is the ultimate stealth rogue. So this is your supernatural thief, your dishonored like assassin. Okay. Mastery feature. Gain 1 to your evasion permanently. So that's 13, which is the highest I've seen so far. And your ability to shadow step now works at very far range. Holy shit. And cloaked. Anytime you can mark stressed and make yourself cloaked. While cloaked, you take all the benefits of hidden condition, automatically lose the vulnerable and restrained condition, if you have them. Cloaked only drops when you make a roll with fear, or the next rest. Oh fuck me, so unless something... Wait, so do you stay cloaked when you... Do you stay cloaked when you attack people then? If I'm understanding this right, as long as you don't roll with fear. Oh god. Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, yeah, no, this is a cool rogue. Edgy as fuck, but it's a cool rogue. Alright. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, I have nothing bad to say about the rogue. Rogue cool. Good work, Matty Mercer and team. Rogue very cool. Honestly, so far the classes seem nice to me. It's definitely my preferences, but yeah, classes are nice so far. Seraph. This one I was quite interested in, because it seems like a paladin. Kinda. When the god seraphs are imbued with sacred purpose. They're kind of like a paladin and a cleric blended together in an interesting way. Okay, when the face sometimes army or locate. Alright, okay. So the domains are splendor and valor. So life and death and defending. Class items, a bundle of offerings or a sigil of your god. Yeah, so definitely cleric-esque. At the beginning of the session, roll a number of d4 equal to your spellcast trait at the and store them to the right. You can exhaust them at any time. Like lyrical ones, I'm going to turn down a little bit more. So, okay, so you can use these prayer dice for damage, adding to roll result, or exchange for many. Okay. And you get that stuff every session. That's interesting. So, essentially, a bit like how the divination wizard sort of picks up numbers he can throw in, you essentially do a morning prayer, and that actually has a mechanic. Love that. Love that completely. You feel a moment of where you just sit down and pray, and the gods bestow upon you some blessings. Yeah, love that. That's the main feature. Seraph subclasses. Wing Sentinel Divine Wielder. This one was interesting to me, because you immediately get wings. Spellcasting trait Strength. Alright. Let's literally take flight. So, you may spend hope to take flight until your next roll with fear. While flying, do an additional d8 damage to any weapon attack you make. You may spend an additional hope to pick up and carry another creature that's approximately your size or smaller. That is pretty cool from the get-go. It definitely seems like flight. They don't care if you have flight early on. They're fine with you doing that. I think there's a fairy ancestry I noticed, and I assume that flies. So, yeah, flight's just a thing. Which is cool. It's a high fantasy setting, it fits. It definitely fits nicely to me. Right. Now, I'm hoping I can get through all this before 1 o'clock, because that's when my session starts, so may have to cut this short potentially and come back to it. Although I'll definitely come back to it, I think. Mastery feature. When you take mastery, raise your severe damage threshold by 4 immediately. Did I just miss? I missed specialization, I'm silly. Spell legends strikes all on fear, you have your advantage on presence rolls while fighting against you. Okay. Fine, and if you succeed on this presence roll with hope, you may remove a fear. Okay, so someone else who can remove fear. That's useful. And fitting, actually. When you take this mastery, okay. So, severe damage threshold, which was 15. So yeah, you're not taking severe damage easily. While in flight, the additional damage you deal the weapon attack with your Wing Sentinel Foundation increases to a d12. So you are a flying badass paladin who kicks fucking ass and inspires the party. That's cool as fuck. Alright, that's just cool. That's just cool. Nothing bad to say about that at all. Now, the Divine Wielder interests me, because that reminds me of Hexblade Warlock, but a Divine version. you have a melee weapon equipped, it can fly from your hand to strike an enemy with returns to your hand. So you just throw you just have Mjolnir. This is just Mjolnir at this point. The spirit weapon is. Treat it as a weapon with close range. Mark a stress to also apply the attack to another target in the same attack roll. Yeah, they didn't mention multi-attack actually. I do wonder if that's a card or if that's a bit different. Then again, no, because you do. The players will do stuff until they roll, I think, with fear, and then the DM takes over, if I recall rightly. Once per long rest, you can touch a creature and heal 2 hit points or 2 stress. Nice, you have healing. Specialization feature. Additional armor slot immediately. Your sparing touch can now also be an additional time per long rest. Nice. What armors do you get actually? I didn't notice that before. Did it mention? Don't think it mentioned what armor you start with as these, but I feel like it'll mention it somewhere. Okay, so just thought more armor, and you can heal people more often. Simple enough, and quite nice. When you roll damage with a spirit weapon, or if any of your damage dice values match, roll an additional damage per die per match. I'm goofy as fuck. 8 rolls plus 1 die. 5, 5. 5. Okay. Does not count any of those additional dice was matching. Okay. Okay, so a bit like how if you crit with rolling your 2 d12s as doubles. I remember that's a critical, they mentioned this. So you kind of like a critical damage in a way. You add an extra. So the more dice you have to roll, the more powerful this gets. So 2d8 and count those additional. Okay, yeah. So alright, I understand that. So every match you get, you add an extra per match. So if there's 1 match, 1 dice. If there's 3 matches, 2 extra damage. Or plus 2 die. Oh no, plus 2 die. You roll more dice. Oh fuck. Holy shit. So that's just roll. That's terrifying. So you can't get a rolling critical, but you can get a very powerful hit. That's cool. Alright. Yeah, that's definitely the Mjolnir wielding powerhouse there. I like that. Alright, now the Sorcerer. Now, let's see how this one plays, because I expect to get a little bit more about magic in this. So this, obviously, the Sorcerer, they've kind of just become powerful casters. Be it bloodlines, be it however else they kind of gained it. Okay. Let's see. And they seem quite tied to illusion magic as well, which is interesting. Midnight being that specialization. I'm debating about that. So, okay, evasion. Low threshold, which is what I expect for a caster. Whispering Orb or Family Heirloom. Alright. Arcane Sense. We've seen this before from the example sheet, but that's just base, which makes sense. The Sorcerer is supposed to, as I understand it in this as well, be very one with magic and, drawing it in, so that fits nicely. Minor Illusion. You can just bend reality a bit to show something that isn't real. Yeah, you can just create a thing. I like that. Channel Raw Power. So you can put a card away but gain more power out of it. Nice. Okay. Source subclasses. Primal Origin. If you're creating a source... Okay. Play Primal Origin if you want to modify your spells in powerful ways. So this is definitely meta magic, but as its own subclass. I don't hate that at all. I do not hate that in the slightest. This is a sorcerer that's really in touch with the raw stuff of magic itself. And they use Instinct in this case. What's the one use, out of curiosity? Also Instinct, makes sense. When you cast a spell or use a weapon that deals magic damage, you may mark a stress to do the following. Extend its range by 1. Add +2 to the damage. +2 to the result damage. Reroll any number of damage dice. Hit an additional target with the range of the spell. Nice, I like that, just a passive feature. So if you mark a stress, you can add any of those to it. I'm assuming only one of these, though. But still, that's nice to do. I mean, making a spell not a single target spell, hit an additional target, yeah, feels very meta-magic-y, and I'm fine with that. You can enhance the magical proficiencies of others with your essence. Nice. You can help an ally on a spellcast roll. The advantage die you roll adds plus 1d8 after you help them make their special spellcast roll. I am getting worse at reading as this is going on. It's a good thing I remember most of my notes and don't have to read them. Oh god, it's gonna be fine. Swap that. Okay, that's nice. So, oh, you rolled a fear? No, like that. You can manipulate fate a bit there. Bits. I like that a lot. Mastery feature. You gather magical energy to enhance your capability. You become charged. After taking magical damage, or after spending 2 hope to do so, when you successfully cast a spell while charged, you may become no longer charged to gain +2 proficiency, or +2 evasion roll difficulty for that spell. Interesting. So you can either increase the damage by 2 dice, or make it harder to miss. Harder to, them to... Obviously, they've not learned how spells work in this, but I'm presuming, going off that description, there are spells where the target has to roll. Or rather, they have to evade... Or is it more that you're adding to your roll to hit? Is that what am I misunderstanding that, perhaps? I think they hopefully they meant how spells work later on properly. So I'll have to see that. Perhaps. Yeah, maybe one I'll have to look at. Might do one of these impromptu tomorrow or something just to go over the rest of this, actually. I'm kind of interested now. I'm invested, actually. Didn't think I would be. I thought I might just look over it rather quickly, but I might just. I'm rather invested now. So I might do another of these impromptu if I've had the time. We'll see. But if not, I'll maybe fit another Saturday. I'll have a lot more time next Saturday, so we'll see. Right, Elemental Origin. Let's jump into this one. So that's... I know one of my friends really likes to do like an elemental sorcerer. I know he wanted a sorcerer that was tied to a phoenix, so he'd quite like this, I'd imagine. So you choose one, so you are bound to an element, so you'd like that a lot. So water, fire, air, lightning, earth. The classics. You channel this element into unique, harmless effects. You may also spend a hope to describe how your control over this element helps a current action you're attempting. You have a +2 to the action roll before making it, or a +3 to the damage. Nice. Okay. So you're kind of like a bender from Avatar, for example. Avatar Last Airbender, in a way. That's kind of how it vibes to me. But you're a sorcerer. I like that. I like that. That's the thing, there's no monk, actually. I didn't notice there is no monk, but then... Interesting choices, but I guess I'm not too upset by that. Monks are cool. But that's fine. Once per long rest, you may transform into an elemental... Oh no, I've again missed the specialization feature. I'm goofy like that. That specialization feature, you can call forth your chosen element to protect you from harm. When you're attacked, you may spend a stress to describe how your element is channeled to defend you, and add 1d8 to your evasion against the attack. Okay. Nothing much to say with that one, but you're a squishy character, so makes sense. Do you want to have more evasion? Mastery feature. Once per long rest, you can transform into an elemental form of your chosen element. When you do so, describe your transformation and choose one of the following two of the following features to gain through the next short rest. Force your sphere threshold. 1's your character trait of your choice, 1 efficiency, 2's your armor score, 2's evasion. This is definitely the more frontline combatant sorcerer. You've got ways to increase your evasion, increase your damage, and a special form to take to make you more powerful. Yeah, pretty cool, honestly. I have nothing much to say about it, but honestly, I could see myself using this. primal one maybe even more so, but the elemental one, yeah, nothing bad to say. Well, so far, I'm quite loving it. Now the warrior. I suspect this is going to be the barbarian. That's my current. That's my my current sort of theory. My game theory, as it were, is this is a sort of barbarian-esque kind of thing. So let's see if I'm right. Dedication to mastery of violence and weapons. I mean, so far we're seeing barbarian vibes. For many who seek to fight only to hone their strength, warriors understand the importance of the agile body and mind, making them some of the most sought-after fighters across the realms. Enjoy employment in an army, band of mercenaries, or even in the Royal Guard. Their potential is wasted in any position where they cannot continue to hone and expand their skills. Warriors known to have favoured weapon and to come between one and their blade would be a grievous mistake. Well, if that isn't a barbarian, I don't know what is. So far. Just the music slightly. There we go. Blade and bone as their domains. Fits. Evasion of 10, not bad, and pretty decent damage thresholds. Class items. The drawing of a lover. Or a sharpening stone. Okay, I can see a nice roleplay option there. Thinking about someone back home. Or someone who's quite dedicated to their craft. Or a bit of both. I like that. I like the role-playing opportunities there. Battle strategy. Wait, no. Is this like the Warlord? Have I been mistaken? Is this kind of like the Barbarian and the Warlord get squished together? That's cool as fuck if that is. But let's see. Battle strategist. When you are making a roll to physically hinder a creature that isn't a weapon attack, so a shove, trip, grapple, etc. Okay, my friend Onyx would love this already. He would play the absolute hell out of this. On success, you can choose to deal 1d8 physical damage to the target. Alright. Okay, so you are definitely the big brawny one, but also, you have stuff that isn't just swing weapon. Liking it so far. Combat training. Ignore burden when equipping weapons, and may place prime weapons in your secondary weapon slot. Always add additional physical damage. Equal to the value of your level when you attack. This is definitely the Warlord Barbarian squished together in a way, from this section here at least. The Warlord in 4E was kind of this like the Battlemaster fighter, but a class, basically. And honestly, I don't hate this blending. It's sort of thrown away the stereotype. That's why it's a warrior, I guess, not a barbarian. It definitely gives me vibes maybe more towards a Final Fantasy warrior. It's like you're this, powerhouse, but you're intelligently using it, I guess. Like you know how to apply the violence. You know when to charge into melee and when to hold back. There's a reservedness. I like that, actually. Okay, I can respect that a lot. Called the Slayer. This definitely gives me the most barbarian-esque vibes, but we'll see. On a roll, you may choose to place a single d6 on this card instead of taking a hope. You can store a number of d6 equal to your proficiency. You can pick up any number of these dice and roll them to making an attack or damage roll. To add the value to the total, discard any that you use in this way. At the end of the session, and clear any remaining dice on this card and gain that many hope. So that's interesting. Okay. So that's interesting. Okay, so you kind of have more control over your hope mechanics than more of the classes seem to have in this. Interesting. I'll have to look at, when I look at it again next time, I might have to look at maybe what things you do with hope, but that's interesting to me that you get all that. Okay. That does intrigue me. I'll look into that more, I think. You can wield multiple weapons with dangerous ease, even. My reading is definitely getting worse. When you make a successful attack roll, you spend a hope to add 1 weapon damage from your secondary weapon to the damage. Okay, yes, this is the dual wielder. Absolutely. They didn't mention what dual wielding before now, so I guess that's what the secondary weapon is, and this guy just doesn't care. You can just use both. In fact, you can have 2 melee, 2 primary weapons, which, alright, I like that. In addition, once per long rest, when you roll your Slayer dice, which is what's mentioned before, I believe, you can re-roll any ones once, taking a new result. Okay. It doesn't mention them being called Slayer's dice in here, but I'm presuming it means this. Yeah, they probably need to mention that's called Slayer. Because they mentioned Slayer dice there, but they didn't mention it anywhere else before, so I'm assuming that's those dice. But they might want to mention that just for anyone confused. You become Inspirational Warrior who can travel. You have become Inspirational Warrior to all who travel with you. You gain a new downtime option called Martial Preparation. And this is one of the 2 things you can do, I believe. So Martial Preparation, describe how you instruct and train with your party and gain 1d6 Slayer dice to distribute between you and your allies. Allies can use Slayer dice to enhance their own weapon attack. Yes, so this is actually really cool to me, because from initially looking at it, it seemed like this was going to be the Berserker, Barbarian, Rage Machine, runs in, hacks and slashes things. Not quite. This is a tactically minded fighter who has ungodly amounts of strength, but has also been trained in how to apply that strength. This is like Conan, more so. A barbarian that actually uses his head a bit more, and has been trained in martial, stratagem and arts to actually implement that. That's actually pretty cool, and I can feel like, because I always had a hard time coming up with character ideas for Barbarian. I have a lot of ideas for this immediately. So many. So, yeah, no, that's cool. Very pleased with the warrior so far. And called the Brave. Let's see if this one tickles my liking as much. To be debt taking on both harrowing tasks and dangerous enemies. When you fail a roll with fear, you gain a hope. Once per long rest, before you attempt something incredibly dangerous or face off against a foe who clearly outmatches you, describe what ritual you perform in preparation. And you make to clear 2 stress and gain 2 hope. Yeah, there's a lot of hope manipulation in this. So they want you using your hope dice a lot. This one in particular, this is definitely that. A bit like how the Ranger had, the Wilderness Ranger had that various mechanics to help you deal with one target. This feels like you've been dragged to one-on-one fight, you're in the arena, you're psyching yourself up, or the party's facing a big threat or a big bad. You know he's outmatching you, you just don't care. That fear, gone. That sort of control over your own emotions a bit there of that. You're vigilant in the face of mounting danger. When you have 2 hit points available or less, your hope dice becomes a d20. They really want you spending that hope. Mastery feature. Unbending Courage is a rallying point for your allies. You can initiate a tag team roll twice per session. When ally wishes to initiate a tag team roll with you, they need only spend 2 hope to do so. I don't know what a tag team roll specifically does, but I'm guessing you can kind of combine arms with the players to do stuff, because you will have that same shared turn. Don't know much about that yet, so might need to look further into the guide about that. However, yeah, that's interesting. The Brave one almost feels like you're this backbone of the party. Like, you've got the stalwart Guardian as the tank, but this is like the moral, I guess not the moral, the morale kind of boosting backbone. Like, with a bard by your side, you can keep the party pretty, I guess, a lot is focused on you, but then you have this mastery feature, which is kind of, It's weird actually. A lot of the stuff is focused on you to sort of like be this like, all right, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna, rush in there. But then you got this one where you drag in someone else with you. This is a weird one. I don't hate it at all, but it's a strange one. I think I might have to see how it looks in play to better appreciate it. Let's see. Anything crazy here? Okay. Nothing too crazy in there, but alright. So far, Warrior. I really like the Call of the Slayer. And the Call of the Brave, I'll have to see how it looks. But it's interesting to me. Wizard. Now, let's see how this goes, because this is the squishiest class in the game so far. But I expect some quite good magical options they can take. Class items: a book you're trying to translate, or a tiny harmless elemental pet. That's cool. So you got a little petty with you as well. Okay, that's nice. A little familiar potentially, or just let's say a pet. Everyone loves a good pet. A book you're trying to translate as well. That could be interesting lore implications for your backstory. Class features: prestidigitation. Nice. So you also get some things you can just do at will that aren't harmful. Nice. Strange patterns. Choose a number between 1 and 12. Anytime you roll that number on a duality die, you gain a hope and clear a stress. You may change this number without letting long rest. That is interesting. What a string. That is a really weird little feature, but you know what? I don't hate it. So, the wizard probably deals a bit of probability then, assumedly. Let's see from some classes. My assumptions have been wildly wrong quite a lot of this, so we'll see. If you're creating a wizard, choose either School of Knowledge or School of War. Knowledge, you're the turbo nerd. If you want to be incredible knowledge, magical will round you. Okay, let's see what the turbo nerd wizard can do. The nerd among wizards. Let's see. Foundation feature. You access priceless knowledge through great study. When you face off against something of great magical power, you may spend a hope to ask the GM what you know about it. Ah, they've mechanicized the "Hey GM, what do I know?" My players do that on me all the time. Okay, I mean, this guy makes sense though. They're a learned sort, so why not? Adept. You may mark a stress instead of spending a hope to use an experience on the roll. If you do so, double the experience modifier when you add it. Interesting. So you can use... they mentioned reducing stress. This is a mechanic that gives you stress. Okay. Interesting. They probably should also, like how they've done here with this feature name, they probably should put the names of them here too. That's obviously something they've not done, but they've mentioned there's going to be mistakes throughout this, so I'll let them off. But it would be nice to have more of that. Specialization feature. When you take the specialization, you may change an existing experience you have, and then add one to one of your experiences. So this one... Okay, so they definitely want you to be able to adjust what things you're specialised in, kind of knowledge you have on hand. I guess it's like shuffling your notes, right? Like, oh, those notes aren't important right now, put them over there. I want these notes to be easily accessible. It's kind of like how I'd probably sort of do it. Okay, once you know so much that you have to have it written down, and maybe you just sort of, okay, I'm going to forget these things, so put them here for later. Okay, I can see that. Once for short rest, you may reduce the recall cost of a domain card in your vault by 1 when recalling it. So it takes less stress, so you can hot swap things out. Yeah, this really feels like it's someone who's got a load of notes, and they're not someone who has a memory that stores everything in their head, or is just too much for your head to remember. So you've got it written down, you're really reliant on your book, and so you really just keep like a bookmark almost of where things are, and that's kind of how you're sort of shuffling things around. I like that. When you take this mastery, choose 2 experiences, now 1 to each of them. When you wish to use experience, roll a d6. On the result of a 5 or 6, you do not need to spend a hope to use it. Interesting. So there's also a bit of a hope mechanic. And did they mention in here... Okay, yes, your duality die gives you hope as well. So hope and stress are two resources the wizard makes excessive use of, it seems, at least for knowledge. Okay. The School of War, then. This will be the last one I'll look over, and then I'll probably go and chill for a bit before I do my actual D&D session. So the School of War. Play the School of War if you want to be trained to use magic as a means of violence. You also use knowledge as your casting. A foundational feature. You focus your studies on shaping of magic in both dangerous and powerful ways. Take an extra armor slot immediately. When you make a successful attack roll with fear, you deal an extra d6 damage. Too much damage. Okay. Interesting. So once even if it goes to fear, fine, you do extra damage still. Interesting. Almost like you're channeling that fear into your damage. Specialization feature: you can concentrate to maintain a protective barrier to magic to protect you. While you have at least 2 hope, you can add your spellcast traits to your evasion. Interesting. So you're buffing up your evasion. So you actually kind of want to spend hope, but this one actually doesn't want you spending too much hope. You want to keep 2, so you continue to have that barrier up. That's interesting. But also nice for the wizard who wants to be more fighty. Okay, and then the mastery feature. Your extra magic damage from your School of War feature increases to a d10. That's good. When you make a successful attack, roll with hope. You may choose to make it with fear instead. Interesting. So you're deliberately allowing fear to be activated, but then it adds the extra d10, so you have more probability control. Interesting. Okay. And that is the classes, and we have not got very far from this in the grand scheme of things, but then it's been a good few hours, I say. We can definitely look through more of this, I think. And I think I'm going to look through more of this. I wasn't going to before, but you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And who knows, maybe if I can get a game of this at some point, I might stream that if my players are cool with it. Or talk about it. I definitely want to do it more with this. Obviously, tomorrow I'm probably going to be recording my retelling of the D&D campaign. For those who don't know, I do a series on my main channel where I retell the sort of campaign. My players weren't entirely keen on me streaming it, so I decided a retelling might be a nice little thing for a bit of utility and notes, but also a fun little thing for me to do to get used to editing and making more recorded content. So, if that interests anyone here, that's on the main channel, and I'll be recording that probably tomorrow, I'd say. Write notes today and get the recording for that tomorrow. But yeah, and then as for this, I'll probably see about fitting this in. I might schedule it. I might try and just... We'll see. I do like trying to keep things on a schedule, but I was so keen to look this over by a suggestion of JD yesterday that I thought, sod it. I've got a bit of time in the morning. Yeah. I will wrap it up here for now, but I will look over more of this. My thoughts so far, going through this much of it I've gone through, currently, the system seems interesting to me, but I think, as was expressed earlier in chat, it's definitely one of those things where you've got to play it, right? And I fully agree with that. I think playing the system is the only way you're really going to get a good feel of it. And obviously it's still in development, so there's bits that are going to change, but I don't have any massive red flags so far that make me think, oh god, this is going to be bad. I'll have to see about the whole measuring distance and how that kind of works out, because that's... Because obviously I tend to use Roll20, so having a board and hex or squares to move along, or hexes to move along, a bit more important to myself, my players, to have that. So as long as there's kind of like a feet systems. Like it's like, oh, this is 15 feet, this is 5 feet. As long as that's in the game or can be easily translated in the game, that's fine to me. They mentioned it in the video that's back on the this website over here. This, not a bad little bit as well. They explain a few bits, and they go over various bits to do with building and also some basic 101 stuff for Daggerheart, so definitely worth a look as well. But what I think I will do is I'm just gonna bookmark that for next time, and I feel like I've stumbled upon something else I can have a little ramble out on stream. But as it's coming up to 1 o'clock, my players will be awaiting me, I should think, or I shall be whipping them violently, one or the other. I will regale you all about the struggle session very soon, don't worry. I might schedule at some point in the week. So, thank you very much everyone who's joined me today. It means a lot to me. This bit of impromptu session, stream. I don't normally stream randomly like this, but I just wanted to. I do have a bit of Helldivers I'm playing later, but I might look at mixing it up after this week, so I might try and fit in the stream like this. I might try and fit in just mixing up the content a bit, I think, because I don't want to be tied down to one thing. I like being able to do variety. Plus, my neurodivergent mind likes to get different things now and then. And I get bored if I do the same thing constantly, so we'll see. But I definitely want to do more of these, so if you've enjoyed the stream, I will be doing more of it. And I might schedule something in, maybe like my Thursday chill stream or something in the evening. Or maybe next Saturday or something. Might do a morning one. We'll see how I feel. But this has been a nice little stream, and I feel like I like the look of the system. I want to give it a go at some point, at least to try it out. So maybe I'll do more stuff like this. I think I might do more reviewing system stuff. I'm definitely going to review the rest of this. After I've had a good look at this, I might look at some other systems like Lancer, possibly. I know a bit about Lancer, but I might want to give myself a more in-depth look. That's also got a good website too. But this has been a pretty good website to look through so far. But anyway, I've rambled on far too much, and it's very quickly approaching 1 o'clock. So thank you so much, everyone. Been a pleasure, and I shall see you all maybe later tonight or next time. Obviously, any videos, VODs, be using the linked YouTube channel, and if anyone is interested in retelling, it's over on the main channel. There should be a link on that main channel, or my link card. But anyway, till then, ta-ta for now.